So Ren, I need you to put yourself in Mr. No, excuse me. Yeah, Mr. Rossini's shoes, just for a
Uh,
moment. Just for a moment.
that would
How sick
the
are you
sickest.
that
Probably
not only did you get cheated on, not only was it for easily 70 to 80% of your marriage, not only was it the case that your firstborn son is probably not yours, you
Mike
can't even
Michael
go
J-
fight. You can't even go fight the dude because he'll probably fuck you up. Like,
because he used to be a linebacker and he just took his
bro,
team to the Super Bowl.
what?
Ha- okay, I gotta ask this. So
How do you come back from that, bro?
I have followed. You don't. First of all, you don't. You're a dead man. You're a dead man for life. Period. Full stop. And we put a bow on that. I'm gonna just ask this because I've followed this story a lot less than you have. So just full disclosure. But
Sure.
we're talking about how Diana and Mike Vrabel snuck off to a beach resort for a few days. How does this? If you're Diana Rossini's husband, how do you not get the slightest clue where she is? Like all these,
8 years,
yeah.
7 years, something like that.
How does this not come up? That's what I'm asking. So like all this stuff's coming out. He's learning about this for the first time. How sick, but how stupid does he feel if he literally is just realizing how much time she's been spending with this dude? Like, how can you be that dumb? I mean, I at some point, like, how do you not catch wind of something at some point? Was he aware?
Yeah.
Does he not care? I I'm not, and if you're asking me to go in the shoes, you know.
It's
But
pain, bro.
what do you got? No, it's pain. His life is over. Let's just be real, because your whole
Yeah.
your whole
I
exist
mean,
your whole
the
foundation of your existence is just
the
like, how do you come back?
the
How do you
the
say anything?
only man, the only thing I could think
How do
of,
you make a public how do you even make a public appearance? How do you show your face at the
you
grocery
can't,
store?
bro. You can't, bro. Like, and the only way that I could think that she was able to pull this off is, I mean, she's a reporter for The Athletic, or was, question mark, a reporter for The Athletic. I'm sure she traveled a lot for work. Um, she probably had to make a lot of moves for that job, so it was probably pretty common for her to be like, I'm just gone for the weekend. But, since we're talking about moves, AFC offseason moves this week on the podcast, we're gonna have to talk about our boys on the Patriots. How's that for a cold open? Let's fucking
There it is,
go.
the segue to the AFC
Woo!
offseason moves, because let's be real, Mike Vrabel has some offseason moves apparently that we're all finding
Oh,
out about.
this guy, bro. Wild boy. Wild boy, bro.
Come one,
And
come
the
all.
first and the firstborn is named Michael. Come
Firstborn
on,
son.
dog.
How do we know? How do we know whose kid is it? This is
Who's to
Doctor
say?
man, what is it? The Maury, or like doc not is it Doctor Phil? What's
Oh yeah,
what's the what's the show where everybody
Jerry
finds out you're the
Springer,
father? Yeah.
Maury. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Maury is
yeah.
what I'm thinking of, right?
Maury
Like, yeah, you
Povich.
are not
Yeah.
the father, or something like that, when you
And
have these
please
big.
believe that is also a meme or a GIF rolling around the internet. But since you're a degenerate and not on Instagram, I can't share that with you.
Absolutely not. With that in mind, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Football Clowns Anonymous. My wife is trying to figure out if we're recording. That's how much of a cold open that was,
Yeah,
Curtis.
shit.
making a making a cameo appearance. Welcome to Football Clowns Anonymous. This is a podcast run by and for NFL football fans, designed for all of you out there who enjoy often questionable takes, analysis, and predictions surrounding all things NFL. My name is Ren Smith. Thank you for listening to our cold open that we are debuting this time, because we started talking about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini before we hit record, and Curtis said, Ren, don't waste this opportunity. Don't waste
Fuck it.
this opportunity to
No,
encapsulate
bro.
this into the podcast. Just let loose. Just let it go. Uh, and I hope you will join me in welcoming my co-host joining us from snowy Buffalo, New York, home of the Buffalo Sabres, Kurtis Pinkney.
You're the 1-0 Buffalo Sabres in a match to the death with our friends from the north,
With their friends from the north, the last Canadian team, the Canadiens, in fact,
the
just the Canadiens.
Canadiens.
The last Canadian team left to try to win the
Mm,
cup for the first time in, I don't know,
mm.
like 50 years or something
Yeah,
obnoxious.
and
So
they're
uh,
out in five, so hate to see it.
that's pretty much what's going to happen to my Wild. We've had a lot of great sports to keep us busy. We're trying to work our way back into the football swing of things as the NBA and NHL playoffs rage on in their in all their excitement and all their glory. We're trying to make sure we don't lose sight of the ultimate prize waiting for us in September, which is of course going to be the NFL season. And with that in mind, we are continuing from our previous episode I guess it was last week, where we talked to the NFC offseason moves. We knew it wasn't going to all fit in one episode. Coming at you is the AFC
Uh,
offseason moves today.
and before we skip into that, I just got a notification on Sleeper. Jawan Jennings to the Vikings for a 1-year deal. How are we feeling?
This is a live reaction. Oh, there it
There it
is.
is.
Former 49ers free agent. You know what? I think this is actually, oh man, am I going to say that? I'm going to say it out loud. I think because we just lost Jalen Naylor, so I think it's an upgrade from Jalen Naylor, and it just makes
It's
Kyler Murray
100%.
have that many more weapons. I mean, he was decent for a number three, but I think Jawan Jennings is better than that. And so now what are we talking about? Addison and Jawan Jennings competing as your wide receiver too. We're feeling pretty. I think we're feeling pretty good about that. The more weapons we can put around Kyler, the better. Flores is back to hold the defense down. Let's make a run for it, because this
Let's
is
fucking go.
this might be, of all the teams this year, this might be the most like now or never kind of situation of
Yeah.
all the teams that are in the NFL. So that's exciting. I did not see that. So thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I as always keeping my eye on fantasy implications. Kyler Murray is currently behind Tyler Shuck as a fantasy quarterback. I cannot
That is
imagine that holds
just that's
behind
just
Baker
well, I can't
Mayfield,
imagine it holds.
behind
Like
Malik
that's a
Willis. And I
I
think
don't
this is
care
all
if I
because,
don't care if it holds. It's wrong.
yes, but I think this is all just because he is currently projected to go for $1. If he-
And they're all
if that
projected to go
isn't,
for two.
no, they're all for $1. So I'm guessing it's just kind of there's a mishmash going on. I'm
Oh,
not sure how
yeah.
how that's being accounted for, but or maybe they're just projecting that what's his face McCarthy is gonna take over at some point. But
Uh,
Kyler Murray is
if
gonna
if
be one of the biggest deals in the draft.
if JJ
You heard it. You
McCarthy
heard it first.
plays if JJ McCarthy plays football this year for the Vikings, it's for one of two reasons. The first one is obvious: Kyler Murray's hurt. The
Yep.
second one is he's playing at the very beginning of the season, where this is the very ultimate prove it.
No,
Like
get him the fuck out of here, bro.
the moment you lose a game. Oh no, but you're talking about how they're expecting JJ McCarthy to take over. No, Kyler Murray is the quarterback this year, and if he slips up, I don't know, you might as well pack it in. Go put Max
Yeah.
Brosmer back in. Like
Yeah.
I because I mean you could theoretically you could switch to either one, whichever one you didn't put in there. But Kyler Murray gives us the best chance to win right now
100%.
this year. McCarthy's a project. Maybe he'll come around. But right now, this is probably Jefferson's last year in Minnesota because, well, I'm going to go ahead and guess he's going to want to trade after this year. I forget where his contract is at right now, but he's going to want to ring chase, I think, after this year if we have subpar quarterback play again. Flores, if he doesn't take a huge step back, he's going to go for a head coach somewhere or go be a head coach somewhere. This is it. Put in the guy that gives you the best chance to get you a home playoff game this year. Sorry, JJ, that's Kyler Murray for this year.
Yeah. You know,
That's
you made the comment that the Vikings are the most all-in team this season. I don't know
I
if I
didn't say
agree with
that.
that.
I didn't say that.
Uh,
It's the most do or die. It's the most do or die.
Most do or die. Excuse me. Yeah, most do or die team this season.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if I agree with that,
Who
but
else you got? Who
one
else you got?
one thing I think we can agree on is the Bills are in a similar situation,
Ooh, okay.
and that is the team we are kicking off our AFC offseason moves preview. with
Absolutely. Great,
the
great
Buffalo
segue.
Bills on the AFC
The
East.
the Buffalo Bills are the first team that we're talking about. We're going to open with this division. We're just going to go through them quick. We have in some order here to talk about the divisions, and just to clarify too, we're not making our win total predictions today. We're going to wait. We're going to make our win total predictions in July, August. We're going to compete for a nice bottle of whiskey, which has led to me being down 2 bottles of whiskey to my associate and co-host, the Oracle. Um, Buffalo Bills fired their head coach Sean McDermott. How do we feel about as a Bills backer? I think we talked about this already, but how do we feel about this?
I mixed feelings. I am not convinced that firing McDermott just so that you could promote the offensive coordinator who the same system, if you will, to the head coach position makes sense. It like if you were going to fire McDermott, I think uh the it's like you should be moving towards a new paradigm, right? Like you're basically just running it back, but with a different face. Like the scheme, I would have to imagine is going to be the same. Like what is it that Brady, the who's been in the building this whole time, is going to provide that McDermott already wasn't? And McDermott is not a slouch. Like I don't know
No,
what he's doing this season. I'm thinking he's taking the season off, I guess, but um, I don't know, man. I we'll see. The only thing I could think is like they wanted like McDermott's a defensive minded coach. They wanted to promote an offensive mind such that Allen can thrive better, question mark. But how much of a needle mover is that really? Like how much more can Allen improve such that it gets the Bills over the hump? Like I don't I don't know, man.
I
And
wasn't a
you know, to
huge. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I wasn't a. I agree, and I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of it because I think at some point you're trying to blame something, and you can't blame Josh Allen because when he's on his game, he's an all-world talent.
Yeah.
The But at the same time, yeah, like if you were gonna bring in, like if let's say they brought in John Harbaugh, just an example, because they got fired from the Ravens, right? If they had brought in John Harbaugh, different story. Then you're like, okay, happy to see a change. You're bringing in somebody else, fresh face, and his proven track record of success versus keeping somebody promoting them from within the same system. So I mean, the
Yeah.
Bills lost that playoff game in Denver because Josh Allen made a couple too many boneheaded mistakes. They didn't. I don't think they got. I don't think he necessarily got out coached by Sean Payton
No.
in that game.
No.
That could have been anyone's game.
Yeah. And I mean, also to the point, like I'm looking at their offseason moves. They didn't do shit, bro. Like they brought in DJ Moore, full
Yeah,
stop. Like
that's
what do
it.
we like
That's pretty much it. Which, to be fair, like when you talk about Josh Allen and how I don't know if it was Herbert or Allen that you said this for, but one of my favorite quotes that you've had on this podcast is that whoever he's throwing to, they were cashiers at Wegmans 2 weeks ago, right?
yeah.
This is Josh Allen, like has had no. I mean, Shakir's all right, but like he hasn't had like a stable, clear top guy. I don't think
Yeah.
DJ Moore is necessarily that either. So I think you
But
may end
in
up with the
fairness,
same.
he had Stephon once upon a time, but that was many moons ago.
Correct.
Feels like
So
an eternity ago. And DJ Moore at this stage of his career is probably not Stephon Diggs. Like I don't like I know DJ Moore is talented, but he like we had this conversation when the signing happened. Like to be honest, it fell flat for me. Like I was like, yeah, okay. Like I especially for a second, I don't know about all that, bro. Like I would be curious what the Patriots are about to give up for AJ Brown.
that's a good question because those details. I mean, that's supposed to be about a month from now. Those details haven't been released.
Right. I mean, it'll probably be a first, but would you give up a first for AJ Brown or a second for DJ Moore?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I would give up a first for AJ Brown.
Yeah, because that's you get AJ Brown on your team, there are no question marks about if you're excited or not. There are no question marks
True.
about if your offense is
That's true.
better. Like
Mhm.
it I
Yeah,
don't
you
know,
brought
man.
in that clear number one. So for somebody, yeah, and I agree because at some point, I mean, is Josh? I don't know. We could spend a long time talking about just the Bills, but is Josh Allen on the hot seat in any way, shape, or form right now because
No,
of his playoff
hell
track
no.
record? I agree. I
No.
agree. I'm just making
No,
sure
no, no,
he's
no,
the
no. Yeah. I
not
mean,
the reigning MVP or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a bad game, but they were talking about this on The Athletic. Like if you look at his playoff stats, it's like cumulatively speaking, it's an MVP level season. So like I'm not gonna we're not doing that.
Nope.
Um,
Nope. All right. Fair enough. In
are
the
we
rest of the division, go ahead.
are we excited for DJ Moore in fantasy though? Josh Allen,
Probably not.
obviously, of course. James Cook, of
Well, yeah,
course.
always, always.
DJ Moore?
He could be probably not where he's going to be ranked. I don't actually know where he's being ranked, but
I
he's
have
probably
no
over. He's
idea.
probably overhyped. It would be my thought is let in my opinion let somebody else have him for whatever he's going for, whatever position he's going for.
He's going around like
Simply because I
McLaurin,
don't
Micah Evans, Ibuka in that same range there.
I don't know if I don't know if I like him that much, to be honest.
Wow.
Maybe I should.
Well,
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
I could see the for or against. I would probably take the upside of Ibuka over more myself, but uh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the.
Yeah, yeah. Well, of course we have 15 more to do. So but
Yep.
staying in the same division, a team that's a team that's kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum as far as performance, the Miami Dolphins. They have a new head coach. They fired Mr. Mike McDaniel, and they have an interesting quarterback. I'm not going to say it's really an interesting quarterback decision. They signed Malik Willis from the Packers, who was their backup quarterback, gave him a very big contract, and they still have Quinn Ewers, who is the rookie quarterback last year, who came in for Tua towards the end of the year just to kind of see what they had with him. Um, I'm curious to see what they're going to do and how they view their future. I think it seems like with the big contract they're going to put in Malik Willis, he was a backup. I think the Dolphins might be trash this year. They seem like they're committing to a rebuild. I'm yeah,
Yeah, I think
curious
the
curious on
Willis
your Malik
contract.
Willis read.
Well, first and foremost, pour one out for Malik Willis. Like my man finally gets a chance to start, and the team he goes to start for ships off the top two wide receivers, leaves him
Yeah,
with
Waddle and Tyreek are gone.
bro pain. Um, and yeah, so I mean, I think the contract is, and bringing in Willis is just an attempt to pretend to remain competitive. Like, it's probably more so of a let's not lose the locker room while we're in the middle of this rebuild type of thing. Like, these are still human beings. We got to pretend like we're remaining competitive and so on and so forth. Because they also didn't get rid of Achan either. Um, yeah, it's going to be a rough season for the Dolphins. I think that's pretty safe to say. Um,
Yeah, I I don't
it
remember what I
it
was. Go ahead.
yeah. I was going to say. I mean, the only interesting question for me with the Dolphins is, are we drafting Achan again?
I was gonna just kind of question that.
Because last year I had him
I think
on a couple of teams, and boy, the floor was immaculate, bro.
no, I agree. I mean, I think as a fantasy player, he's hard to pass up. I would also then argue too, like if you've got poor quarterback play, he might be getting
Well,
35
is he
touches a game.
is he going to have poor quarterback play? I don't think that's fair.
I'm
Like
saying if
Malik played well last year in relief
yes, he
of
did.
Mr. Love.
I'm saying that even if you consider the floor case for the Miami Dolphins, that may not negatively impact HN's fantasy value all that much because he's going to be getting 30 or 35 touches a game in that situation. In the ceiling case, where Malik Willis comes in and the Dolphins win 10 games this year, which is, again, that's a ceiling and it's a stretch, and I'm not betting on that. But in that
Yeah, I
case, then
wouldn't.
obviously, yeah, you're expecting HN to be averaging a touchdown a game. So I I might still be doing it because I'm guessing that with that expected drop on the Dolphins as a whole, he may be going for slightly. Maybe he's not going for slightly cheaper because he was that guy last year, but um, I'm not shying away from him in the same way that I'm nervous about DJ Moore that we just talked about
Over under 4.5 wins.
for the Dolphins. They play
I
in the
got dra
division with the Jets. They play in the division with the Jets. That's an over. That's two free wins.
I don't know about all that, bro. They got Geno Smith. I don't know. I don't know about that, bro. The
Geno
Jets might
Smith,
be
Geno Smith,
Geno Smith
the guy who
to
was
Garrett
starting for the team
to
that got the number
stop it.
one overall pick last year.
Well, let's be very clear. We'll get to the Raiders, but they were a dumpster fire from top to bottom. They made
Are you
Brock
gonna?
Bowers look awful. I would
You are not. Okay.
1000% take the Jets over the Dolphins.
You are not. You are not gonna look me in the
I'm
eye and tell me Geno
Jets will have
Smith
more
now plays
wins.
for the Jets.
Jet
Geno
Jets are gonna
Smith.
have Jets are having more wins than the Dolphins this year. What are we putting on it?
You ready?
What are we
Brianna
putting
just
on
said
it?
bet the.
Yeah,
Brianna just
I
said bet
hear
the
it, bro.
farm.
I
I know.
put the farm on
She's
it.
Listen
Put
to
the
me.
farm on it.
You are not going to tell me that
Put the farm on it.
Geno Smith last year did a poor
Ren,
job because the Raiders are a dumpster fire. You're not going to tell me that the
Ren,
Jets are not the quintessential dumpster fire in the
put the
NFL.
farm on it, Ren.
On
Put
what?
the farm
On
on it.
what? I've lost track
Jets
of what you were even saying.
Jets are having more wins than the Dolphins this year. Period.
No. No. No.
What are we putting on it?
No. I'm betting the opposite is what I'm putting on it.
I
I'm betting on the Jets to be worse than the Dolphins this year.
What are we betting, Ren?
Oh, I see.
Is
You
this
want
a
to bet
six pack?
against me.
Is this a six pack bet?
I think we should save the 6-pack bet for whatever's the most obscene thing when we do the win totals. I'm not ready to
Okay.
I'm not ready to put a 6-pack on this right now because I know when we do the win totals there might well be 3 6-packs that get thrown around. Considering the way we were talking last year about the Browns, I I would be
It's
prepared
funny.
to
I
consider
see
something with the Jets
in
and
the
the
bottom.
Dolphins.
I see in the bottom left of your screen it says the scholar there. I think it needs to
Uh-huh.
change to the chicken shit.
Hey,
Like
sir, let me tell you, the
that's all
scholar
I'm
is a
hearing, bro.
well-studied person. Scholar's a well-studied person who knows that the Jets are a perpetual dumpster fire, just like the Raiders. Geno Smith is going to go in. He's going to look like ass again. Geno Smith looked like ass for the Jets for so many years. He went to Seattle. Suddenly a good team, suddenly looked good. Now he goes to a dumpster fire in the Raiders. Looks like ass. Now he goes back to the Jets. What do you seriously think is most likely to happen right now? Did we forget? Did we
What you're
forget
not
what he looks
considering,
like on the Jets?
what
What's
you're
that?
not considering is the Jets have a defense.
How many games did the Jets win last year?
I don't know, not very many.
Not very many. What's new? Tell me what's new. They had lots of free. I made a note here. They made lots of free agency signings on defense, so
Hmm.
maybe their defense is better. Last year they
It will
didn't win
be.
a lot of games.
There, bro.
Last year the Giants defense was supposed to carry them to 12 wins.
Wow, that might have been a little bit of an exaggeration. First of all, they play in
Okay,
the NFC
10.
East.
10. Okay, 10. Whatever.
Uh,
There was
the
hype.
Giants.
I'm just saying there was hype.
Stop.
I
Okay,
think
so
you can be
we're on the
right.
Jets now, and
We're on the
let's also
Jets.
let's be very clear. The quarterback Geno Smith has shown flashes of confidence. Let's not forget what he did in Seattle.
I
Like,
won't deny
yes,
that.
he had a bad season in Vegas, but the whole team had a bad season in Vegas. Like Ashton Genty, the most hyped running back. Well, I won't say that. He was a highly touted prospect. Brock
Yeah.
Bowers,
Mm-hmm.
legitimate tight end.
Yep.
Receivers aren't all stars, but not slouches. Jacoby Myers not a slouch.
No.
Like the whole team looked fucking awful.
Yes. The whole Jets are about to look awful too, because that's what they do. I think if you were betting on the Jets to be bad over the last 20 years, you would have much more money than you would have lost in doing that. And I see no reason to stop doing that now. What do we think is going to happen over the next 20 years? Could I be wrong
Well,
this year?
let's be very
Maybe.
clear. Hold on, time out. I'm not saying the Jets are going to be good. I'm saying they're going to be less bad than the Dolphins.
Okay, that's fair. There's room for interpretation there. I think that the Jets will just inexplicably be the worst team in the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills are going to win that division again because I'm not even going to let you give I'm gonna wait and see if you want to give a clown of the offseason, but I would just like to say that in general, considering that Mike Vrabel and Stephon Diggs are both on the New England Patriots, we have to consider strong case for the New England Patriots to make a Super Bowl and then have this much offseason attention and then to do what it doesn't seem like is a whole heck of a lot to me in the offseason.
Diggs actually got let go.
Goof. I thought he was still on the Patriots. Oh, they let him go because of the accusation? Are they going to bring him back?
I don't know if it was because of the accusation, but I'm pretty sure he got released.
Oh, he's going to get picked up by
Uh,
somebody. He's going to get picked up by somebody then.
yeah, yeah, he got re released a while ago.
I'll acknowledge that we're meandering through the AFC East here a little bit, but I'm
We
just trying
are.
to put a bow on it because I'm trying to put a bow on it because we did skip over. We started with the Patriots, then we skipped over them. Now I'm trying to come back and just make sure that, you know, all you got to do is keep your head down, and you'll be a good team again this year. You'll be competing with the Bills for the division again, in competition with them for that. And instead, all the off-season attention, all the off-the-field attention that you don't want, regardless of what ended up just happening with the Diggs case, so much off-the-field attention, and it's not good. They signed Romeo Dobbs to apparently replace Diggs. That's the only thing I wrote down for them.
Yeah,
He was just kind of an interchangeable. To me, he was kind of a he was never really that guy in Green Bay. He was just one of many, an entourage,
yeah,
and so I don't
yeah.
think he's a true replacement for Diggs. I could be
Definitely
wrong
not.
about that, but
No,
I
I
expect a
agree.
regression. I expect a regression from the Patriots this year, and also Vrabel's going to still be in the pressure cooker about all this stuff. Well into the season and doing his best to ignore it, but this is going to take a toll on a team.
I would
Let's
have to
not ignore
imagine.
that.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with you, and I'm looking at their 2026 opponents this year. I
They
it
got a
might be tough sledding for them.
first place schedule.
Yeah,
They're gonna have
because
to play a first place schedule.
let's not forget, like one of the things heading into the Super Bowl and the playoffs, that the Patriots had hanging over their head was that their season was a massive cakewalk. Like it was probably one of the easiest walks to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl for that matter
Correct.
that I could think like that comes to mind like just period. Like because what was the playoffs? Because they had the Broncos was trash. I think they had the
They had the
Texans, was
Texans
it?
too. They had
Yeah,
the
and
Texans and CJ Stroud threw 5 picks or something obnoxious.
right, like in the first quarter, like something stupid. And I was
Something
like,
like that.
bro,
Yeah.
yeah. So like
Just here you go.
it's
Just have a yep.
yeah, it's hard for me to look at the season they had last year and have confidence that they're magically just this juggernaut team. Like I need to see it again. Is where I'm at with the Patriots. And if they could do it again this year, sounds good. But given, what you just said, off-field concerns with the coach, um, you know, the team is good, but is it great? I don't know. Is it great enough to
Page.
overcome infidelity? Probably not.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Patriot
like
Patriots under 8.5 wins is triple your money.
I I like under 8.5 to be quite
Yep.
frank. They got a date with the AFC West. They've got the NFC North. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm I'm
The
gonna go
the
ahead and take
numbers
that under.
the number is close to 10. They actually DraftKings has the not just the over under line, but they have a bunch of alternate numbers now. So
Yeah,
that's why
see
I'm
that
saying it's plus 200 for the Patriots is under 8.5.
I
That's
might need to take
enticing
that.
with all
I might
that.
need to take
That
that. Yeah.
um should are you ready to move on to the next division
Yeah.
at long last
Let's do
here?
it. Let's do it.
Moving on to the AFC North. Another candidate, well, this is another candidate in some way for clown of the offseason for me. Baltimore Ravens.
Hmm.
And maybe it's not Baltimore Ravens. It's the fact that they made a big blockbuster deal to trade for Max Crosby, and then they backed out of that trade and cited something about a physical. And then Max Crosby, who just said I'm leaving Vegas, comes back and says I'm not leaving. I'm here.
I
I'm a
love
Raider
Vegas.
now. And it's
Yeah.
like I love Vegas. It's like no, you don't. You
Yeah.
were having a party in your house when the Ravens backed out of that trade. And then they signed Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals instead. I think
Yeah.
they didn't want. I think it was that they got cold feet and didn't want to give up 2 firsts for Max Crosby or something like that. So,
100%.
but they have Jesse Minter as their new head coach because, of course, of the departure of John Harbaugh. And interesting shift of Hendrickson in division from the Bengals. So I mean, it has to be an upgrade, all else equal. But the loss of John Harbaugh Um, I don't know. It feels like they kind of had to blame somebody for the lack of playoff production, but kind of like McDermott, like, are you really going to say that he's a bad coach? I
Yeah,
I'm not buying that myself personally.
yeah.
Um, so I think they may potentially regress this year. I know you're a big Lamar Jackson guy, so I know that might be disrespect, but that's kind of where I'm at with the Ravens going into this year.
I generally feel the same way, but I don't know. The Ravens have always kind of given me pause. Like I've never been in love with their roster, and that's probably just because I don't understand football deeply enough to be in love with their roster. Like when I think about Lamar's receivers or the receivers he's had over the course of his career, it's never made me smile. Um, Derrick Henry is an alien. He's like the reverse of Wemby, but you know, like
No limbs, all body.
yeah, just a Yeti, just an ageless Yeti. But like at some point, you would got it. You have to think he's going to break down at some point, right? Like
Yeah,
I
he will
maybe.
in 2036.
Like, so I don't know. I mean, the defense will probably be a little interesting, but I don't know, man. What is it line at 10.5? I'd probably take the under on that too. I mean,
Yeah, it's closer to 11 actually
uh,
because of where the extra
uh,
juice is on the over 10 and a half. It's like under 10 and a half plus 125 is probably where I'd be, only because if nothing else, it's no disrespect to Lamar, but it's the head coach change. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that was your answer.
No, probably not. But like going back to the McDermott thing, it is like that is a fresh face. Like that's new ideas. That's if you're going to try and, do a refresh of the franchise, that's how you do it. You don't promote from within, right? Except they are probably a little sick that they let Mike McDonald out the building. So I don't know. Maybe that's a case for Joe Brady. I don't know. Um,
Yeah, could well
yeah,
be. And speaking of Hendrickson going to the Ravens, the Bengals then lost Hendrickson. They acquired Dexter Lawrence from the Giants. Are we thinking that that's a lateral move? And those are kind of the two big, like, or that's the big swap I have for the Bengals. But that's another
yeah.
team really I kind of put in the same category as the Ravens, almost, of just perpetually can't turn the corner. Like the roster, there's enough talent at certain positions where you think that they should be competitive and making moves, and yet they just have this kind of mediocrity to them, almost like a less than the sum of their parts kind of vibe to the
Yeah,
Bengals.
I think all of their notable moves were on defense, and by all accounts, they should be a better defense this year, and that's been the primary reason why they've been dog shit for the past 3 years. Like it was brought to my attention today that they have not made the playoffs for the past 3 years. That's crazy to think
That's really
about.
true. That's really true, isn't it? Because
I
Burrow was
it
hurt one of the years, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't have Joe Burrow on your team and not make the playoffs if he's healthy.
No, no, no. Rephrase that. You shouldn't have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins on your
Good
team
point. Good
and
point.
not make the playoffs for 3 years. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? Like, they put up 30 points on a regular basis and lose those games consistently. It
Unacceptable.
it's crazy. So if they can
So
go from like the 30th defense to like the 20th, 18th best ranked defense, there's got to be a playoff berth, right?
I agree with you. That's probably two wins, and those are the two wins that they need to make the playoffs
Every
because they're
time.
always like the last team. They're the last team out or something
Yeah, it's
crazy,
not
right?
losing to a trash ass Patriots team that ended up, the one year was it wasn't last year, of course, but I think it was the year before.
Yeah.
It's not dropping that game. It's not dropping a game to the Browns that you have no business losing. Like it's just perpetual ineptitude for a team that should not be in that position. Hell
No,
no,
so
bro.
then if
Like,
that's the thing, then why are you trading away? Why are you allowing Hendrickson to leave your building then too? He's probably your best
um,
defensive player.
yes,
I mean,
but I,
draft picks is the short answer, but you
yeah,
sure that's the right move?
I would argue Dexter Lawrence is probably at this stage in their careers probably an upgrade there. Um,
I would
Yeah,
say
I
it's
mean,
close to it's close to lateral. I think if you ask me, it's but you're also getting yeah. Ugh.
yeah,
I mean, they got a lot of picks for or they got Baltimore paid out the ass for Hendrickson, so
right, right.
we'll
And yeah, I'm
see.
sure there
This
was
is
a financial component to it as well, and so on and so forth.
yeah. I think also now too, like we talked about this with the NFC ones. I don't know any of the division winners. I don't know who I'm going to pick for division winners in the NFC. I this AFC North is also
I'm picking the
this is going to
Bengals.
be tricky too.
I'm picking the Bengals.
Interesting. I might too, but I keep falling into that trap though of thinking that and then they miss the playoffs. I don't know. I at some point you've got to bet on something that you just expect to. At some point, things are going to emerge, and they're not going to emerge they're going to emerge out of nowhere, and suddenly it's going to be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense, right? Bengals are going to make the playoffs this year, just because of the law of averages. Their team is way too goddamn talented to miss 4 years in a row. Period.
strong agree. Strong agree.
Speaking of dumpster fires,
Here
the
we go.
Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, and it broke today or yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is expected to return as the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They do
Yep.
not have Mike Tomlin. They have Mike McCarthy. Steelers under 3.5 wins.
So
I think they could be I think they could be legitimately awful this year. I'm not a Rodgers guy, and this seems like the fossil coming back to life one more time is going to get injured, and McCarthy I think is a terrible head coach. That's what I got. That's what I got.
I'm gonna violently disagree with you here.
Okay,
Um,
go on.
McCarthy is a bad playoff coach, but if you think about those Dallas Cowboys teams and even those Green Bay Packers teams, that was consistently a 10, 11, 12 win regular season team just about every single season. And then when they get to the playoffs, then they flamed out in epic fashion in the wild card round just about every season.
You know who this sounds
So
like? You know who this sounds like? Sounds kind
the
of like
coach
Mike
that they just
Tomlin.
replaced.
Yeah, sounds like Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
Uh, he
So
seems like a bum. He just maybe it's his demeanor that he just stands on the sideline and just looks like a bumbling idiot who has no idea what
he
he's doing.
looks terrible. I
Yeah,
completely agree with that. But his win-loss record is an impressive. It's like I don't think it should be scoffed at, in my humble opinion, of course. And outside of Aaron Rodgers, which I don't think we should be excited about Aaron Rodgers, I'm actually legitimately shocked that the Steelers are putting themselves in this position. Like, why Aaron Rodgers? Like, why are you going through this song and dance with this old ass motherfucker who barely threw the ball 5 yards down the field more than two or three times a game last year? Like, what are we talking about? Like, why? Like, why wouldn't you go and get Kyler Murray on for free? Like, why wouldn't you go get Malik Willis? Why wouldn't you get Geno Smith, bro? Like, I would prefer to have Geno Smith over Aaron Rodgers right now. Upside,
that's that's a wild statement, and
is
I'm
it?
a
Is it?
I don't disagree with it to be totally fair, but it is a wild concept to be
Bro,
thinking about
like
Geno Smith being better than Aaron Rodgers.
I don't even know if he's better, but he can push the ball downfield. Like
Yeah, that's true.
he gives your offense layers, bro. Like we know what's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers, bro. Like I'm seeing they signed Rico Dowdle. They let go of Kenny Gainwell. Guess who's getting the dump offs, bro? Guess who I'm picking up for my running back four? Because I know who's gonna be the dump off king of the 2026 season. Like it's just like they picked up Michael Pittman from the Colts. For what? He's not getting the ball, bro. DK Metcalf barely got the ball.
Right.
I just like I look at their team and the defense is it's the Steelers, of course. Like, you look at that team on paper and you're like, "Damn, I kind of dig this team." And then you see Aaron Rodgers and you're like, "Oh,
It will inexplicably fail. Aaron Rodgers is too old. Let's also consider too. Okay, let me walk back my statement that McCarthy's a terrible coach. Terrible is not a good word there. Mike
no, it is not."
McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers in his prime, who
Yeah.
was very good at football at the time,
Yeah.
and he also had Dak Prescott, who is also, in my opinion, has a good supporting cast in general.
Yeah.
Very, I would say, maybe not as good as Aaron Rodgers in his prime, but Dak Prescott has been competent through the years as well. So I think he's leveraging good, solidly decent roster construction in both of those as well. This year, it's a reunion, and I think we're supposed to be excited because it's a Packers reunion. And maybe that's why I'm so far out on it, because Packers hate runs deep for me, and this is a Packers reunion on another team. But
Yeah.
it was profitable to bet the under. I mean, actually, it wasn't profitable to bet the under
No, it
last
was
year
not.
because fucking Tomlin just every
That
single
guy.
goddamn year.
That guy.
Yes, I have bet under 8.5 on the Steelers. I already threw on that as soon as the number came out. That was before the Aaron Rodgers news. I don't care. I would throw it under 6.5 now. Like that's because I think there's a legitimate case to be made that that's a
Your
reality.
your
That
your Packers bias is clouding your judgment here. I'm proud of you for acknowledging that. Also, fun fact, when Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl, who was the coach?
Mike McCarthy.
And we're on to the Browns, who I don't know how we feel about the Browns. I keep seeing reports that Deshaun Watson is a legitimate threat to start week one for the Browns at quarterback. I don't know what to
the
I don't know what to do with that information.
let me ask you this question because we still have one foot in one spot and one foot in the other. Who has more wins this year, the Browns or the Steelers?
Oh, it's the Steelers and it's not even close.
There
I
might
would
be a
say
six pack.
I'll
There might be a six pack there
just
too in your
you
future.
know what? We should do a six pack on that, and I would even take it so far as to say the Steelers will have three more wins than the Browns.
I will bet you a six pack, and I will do this right now. If you make the number two, I will bet you a six pack right now that the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 2.5 wins is, or wait, how does that work? Minus
One
one,
and a
that would
half.
be minus 1.5 wins, is less than the Browns plus 1.5.
Say that one more time. So basically, we're
Oh,
just
hang
betting
on. How are we
what I
doing this?
just said. Yeah, the Steelers are going to have two more wins than the Browns this year. Period.
Yeah, it's a push. It's a push at 2 wins. That's what I.
Sure.
That's what I would say. It's a push. It's a
Okay.
push at
I
two
see.
wins. You you go for that?
Sure. Let's do it. There it is. We found it. We
Look
got
forward.
there.
Look forward to my six pack. The
How
Browns have
in
a
the
Browns
world?
have a new head
Explain
coach.
to me. Yeah, explain this to me. Where is this Browns confidence coming from?
It's not Browns confidence. It's Steelers not confidence. Just to be totally clear, it's that I'm not confident in the Steelers at all.
That's
And
crazy.
I think the Browns did steal a. They're I think they're going to be the same archetype of a team this year in that they're going to be bad, but they're going to win a few games that they just should not win. And that's true in that division because these other teams that we just talked about are susceptible to a clown loss against the Cleveland Browns, especially in Cleveland. Snow's flying, that AFC North smash mouth football. They drafted a guy, an offensive lineman, at number 9, Fano. I don't know how do you pronounce that.
Hmm.
But then they also signed 4 different offensive linemen in free agency. They're making moves there. They drafted wide receivers late first round and early second round, and they have a new head coach who came from the Ravens, offensive coordinator. So I don't see how they're not at least the same as they were last year, and they won 5 games last year. And I don't think the Steelers are going to win. I think the Steelers could legitimately have a horrible season. That's where that confidence comes from.
That's wild to me. I hear what you're saying. I yeah, if push comes to shove, I could see the Browns sneaking out 5 wins here and there. But like you don't think the Steelers are getting the 7 wins, bro?
Yeah, Steelers 5 or 6.
Crazy.
No, I think that's I
I
think that's legitimate. That's legitimately where I have them. Am
bro,
I
you
dumb? Probably. And I just
possibly,
put
bro,
another.
because like they're talking about starting Deshaun Watson. Like let's recall the last time we saw Deshaun Watson. He was, and this is not hyperbole, he was legitimately the worst quarterback in the league. And like I think he was one of like his quarterback rating, whatever that the QBR. I think it was like one of the worst since they started tracking the stat. Like it was so bad, like it was one of those things where if he just threw the ball into the dirt all season, he would have had a better QBR than what he showed. And I'm
I
hearing he might be the starter. I don't know if
if
that's
in
for
fact
competitive reasons, if they're tanking for Archie. I don't, or what is it, Archie? Archie
Arch
Manning? Arch Manning?
Archie was the dad. I think it's Arch, but
Okay, Arch Manning.
or Archie
Like,
was the grandpa. Yeah, you know what I mean.
yeah, what the kid coming out of Texas.
Arch Manning, I think. But maybe you got to believe that they've got options at court. Maybe none of them are good. They have options at quarterback. And if Deshaun Watson comes out of the woodwork and looks like that again, it's not going to take them very long to be like, we let this guy sit. He looked like shit. We let him sit. Let him serve his suspension. We let him blah 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 blah, and we put him back in, and he looked the same. You think he's going to survive more than 3 or 4 games at that poor
And
level of
then
play? No,
and
they're
then
going to
who
go
do
back
they
to
turn
Shador.
to?
Gil, I'm not saying they have a great option. They put Dylan
No,
Gabriel or
sir.
Shador Sanders. They put Dylan
And
Gabriel
and
or Shador
let's
Sanders back in,
we
and they
haven't
steal
even
a
gotten
game.
to who are these three mediocre quarterbacks throwing to?
Good
Who's
question.
running the football?
Jerry Judy.
Yeah, the defense, like Miles Garrett
The
still
defense.
exists, and he's still that guy. Like that will never be discounted. He's 2 wins right there. Miles Garrett is 2 wins by himself.
Yep.
I I will admit that.
Strip sack in the end zone.
I can admit that. I need you to
Yep.
find the other 3 wins for me because I'm not seeing them.
We we will have to go back through the if we're gonna do this right now.
Well, the schedule's not out yet, so let's. Oh well, I guess the
Oh, you're right.
opponents
Well,
are out. They've got the
yeah,
opponents out because they're not winning any of the division games.
they're playing the Raiders at home.
Yep,
That's
that could be one. I'll
that
give
could
them
be a
one.
win. Yep, that could be one.
Maybe the
The
Panthers.
Panthers are could be sneaky. I'm even gonna go with maybe the Falcons and in Cleveland. And I
You're
hang on,
fucking
I say
crazy.
that especially it's a home game. It's in Cleveland.
Stop
That
it.
could be a December game. Soft
It
dome team. Just saying.
the Jets,
Um,
maybe.
yeah, I go for the Jets
That's
and
three.
well, then okay. Well, we skipped over the division games. I'm gonna split them with. They're gonna get two division. They're gonna get two of the division games.
Which
Pick your
ones?
poison. I will give
It
them the
has to be two of the
Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah, because you're
I will
not
give
beating the
them the Steel.
Ravens.
Well, I'll give them the. Excuse
Stop it.
me.
Stop it. Okay, we got to move on before you start. Jesus Christ. We got the AFC
Hey.
South, bro.
Oh
Before
my
you get
gosh.
yourself into trouble again, bro. We did this last year. We did this last year. You shamed yourself publicly last year. I'm going to prevent you from doing it again. You're welcome.
Browns. Browns over 1.5
Stop.
division wins. If you want me to pick two, I will find two. But
I
both the Steelers
wait.
is one of the outcomes.
We
The
need. Oh man, we need to
moving on,
revisit this. Yeah.
we will.
AFC South.
Moving on
We
to
got the Houston Texans, bro. David
there's a
Montgomery.
fun yep. There's a fun running back shuffle that happened
Yeah.
throughout a couple of different teams here. Houston Texans have David Montgomery, and that's
Yeah.
pretty darn exciting, I think.
I agree. I'm looking
They
forward to seeing how that plays out. Offensive line is probably still dog shit, but like I'm curious to see how it works out.
I think CJ Stroud is on the hot seat this year. I think he could. What's your take on that?
I
He's
think you're
been
probably right.
not because they've made the playoffs and they've won playoff games with him, but boy has he looked dog shit in some of those
Yeah.
like game losing performances like the one against the Patriots that we talked about, right? Like
Yeah.
you
And his
if you threw the
defense
ball
bailed him
into the
out
dirt and
the
punted.
yeah. And I mean the week before he looked awful, but the defense bailed him out. Um,
Correct.
mm, I want to say you're incorrect, but if he does that again, it's hard.
I'll be
Yeah.
I'll say he's on the hot seat with the Texans. He's for sure going to start somewhere else at
Oh
some
yeah,
point,
he would get a
even if they got
job
rid of him.
for
Yeah,
sure.
but yeah. I also like that I mean, the one other thing they did too is they re-signed Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. to really hold down the defensive line, and that gives them a chance to win any game. Because I mean, similar to like a Myles Garrett type of situation, you've got two players that can just completely wreck a drive or completely swing the momentum of a game.
Completely
Um,
agree.
so so that's an opportunity
Yeah,
for them.
yeah. Defense is
And
still going to be nasty. Uh,
yeah,
Nico Collins, we're hoping is healthy. Is Tank Dell coming back? Do we have we heard anything about
I,
him?
I don't know actually. No, I haven't heard, but I wouldn't be surprised because he was
That would
out
be.
for.
I mean, yeah. I mean, his whole like leg shattered. I don't know what the hell happened, but like I
Mhm.
think it was a career-threatening injury. I don't know if that ended up being the case, but um,
Yeah, still working back slowly. Optimistic sense. That's
yeah,
the quick Google with
yeah.
that. But yeah, because
But I
that could
mean,
be. I mean, because when he was healthy, the 1-2 punch of him and Nico was
yeah,
was pretty nice too. With
yeah.
David
He's a
Montgomery
dog.
then and that defense,
Yeah,
can they win
yeah.
the division again in a division with the Colts and the Jaguars?
I think it'll be tough, but I mean, with that defense, I think it has to be a consideration. I mean, with the Colts, unfortunately, they're dealing with Mr. Daniel Jones coming back from the Achilles, and I have very little faith that he's going to come back with and look the same that he did prior to him leaving. Like we just watched, excuse me, we just watched Kirk Cousins deal with an Achilles, and he looked awful coming back from that. Looked a little
Yep.
bit better the year following, but you know that's an incredibly difficult injury to come back from. Um, and especially since mobility is a big part of Daniel Jones's game, like I don't get warm fuzzies thinking about it, and I feel bad for him because he was balling out there for a little bit. Like the Colts looked crazy. Like you couldn't stop them. They were a freight train. And as soon as he
Yeah,
got injured, the floor fell out immediately.
top three team in the NFL for the first part of last season. Let's not
Yeah,
forget that Jonathan Taylor performance that you watched in Berlin got
I will
you
never,
a you you can't ever
I
forget
will,
that
I
because
will
it
never
made
forget that.
Aaron have to eat 100 hot dogs or something
Yeah,
crazy.
96.25, but who's counting,
That shit's crazy. That's a well done, sir.
bro?
Um, the Colts also lost Pittman, who I think means more to the Colts than he does to the Steelers. They did sign Alec Pierce. All this hype about him being the number one wide receiver. I'm sorry, and maybe I'm a homer because I have him in Dynasty. I'm sneaking a pick on Josh Downs in fantasy this year because he could
100%,
very much end up being the
100%.
lion's share of targets. I don't know that he's
Could
gonna.
not.
I don't
Yeah,
think he's gonna get. He's not gonna get a touchdown a game, but
no.
he could very easily get 8 catches a game. Like,
Yeah, I could not agree more. I like, and maybe I'm just tainted by fantasy, but like Alec Pierce is, from what I could tell, a really nice boom bust receiver. Like maybe like I think of like Deshaun Jackson or something, but not as nice. Um,
let's go
because
there.
let's not forget Deshaun Jackson was that boy was a dog, like a dog.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. Like maybe I just haven't watched the Colts closely enough to understand where the hype is coming from, but I very much second Josh Downs is going to be for fantasy wise, that's going to be a wonderful wide receiver two, wide receiver three to have on the team. I would have to imagine. I think that's a easy 8 to 10 targets a game. Um,
Wide receiver one upside.
yeah,
He was always getting out targeted, and I mean JT definitely takes. JT is a large part of that offense too, so that
sure.
doesn't leave quite as many targets available for wide
No,
receivers. But with Pittman gone,
yeah.
that's you got to
I
look
feel
his way.
five
He's
for
the
73, 6 for 83, and a
yeah.
touchdown like every
Yep.
week. That feels very, very well within the realm of possibility on a weekly basis.
I agree. I don't know what the hype was with Pierce. Like, I mean, he'll be okay,
Yeah,
but not where he's being drafted.
yeah.
Um, looking at this is a fun. I mean, this is an interesting division because the Jacksonville Jaguars
Yeah.
won it last year. So I have
Yeah.
a one very brief monologue with the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Oh,
if you'll grant
of
me.
course, please.
To my friend and comrade Adam Cook, who played the role of Jacksonville Jaguars at our dynasty draft last year. This was our dynasty league draft last year. He did exactly what the Jaguars did. He made a blockbuster trade to move up, and he took Travis Hunter early. And this is the guy who's won both side pots. He's a 4-time champion. Shout out to you for moving up and spending a large amount of capital on Travis Hunter, only to find out that he will be playing defense this year
Hey, bro.
exclusively.
Hey, bro. Hate that for you, dog. Hate that for you, sir. We should get him on the pod just so we can watch him cry for a few minutes and then promptly kick him off.
He won't, because he has made, like, he's gotten pretty much a down payment on a house from playing fantasy from us. So I don't like, it's a nice wedding present. He got married last summer, There you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Adam, and just has been raking us over the coals. That was not the right move in hindsight, but
No.
he just like anybody else, like, he's not immune from, he's won 4 championships. He's not immune from making a bad move every now and then. He'll be back. He'll be back,
Do we
and the
think
rest of
that
us will be
Travis,
crying.
do we think that they'll
Good.
actually keep Hunter strictly on defense?
I actually question that. I
Yeah.
think that's a really easy thing to say in April beforehand, but if things are, I think all it takes is for the offense to not just be firing on all cylinders 100%. Just sneak him out there for a play, maybe
Yeah,
two,
because
see what
let's
happens,
not
and
they
he's getting targeted on those plays too.
that's yes. Like so let's not forget like Brian Thomas Jr. looked like ass last year. Um, I can't recall who the third wide receiver three was, but I mean he showed I think it was a PJ Walker. Um,
Yes, I think so.
he looked okay, but like that's not going to get you to the promised land. They just shipped off their running back to the Saints in Travis Achan, the running back formerly known as Travis Etienne.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, like
still weird
where are they? Where a little bit. It's tough to lock in on that.
because we
Where
have a Devon A Chan already. But anyway, go on.
correct. Where are they getting offense from? Like Trevor Lawrence has not shown that he is the quarterback that can throw to cashiers from Wegmans and make them look good. Like I haven't seen that. And if you're taking away offensive weapons from him, why are you doing that? Like that does not compute to me, in my humble opinion. So I would be surprised if Hunter stays strictly defense. Um,
I would agree with that, because I
yeah,
mean, again, like, we watch too many plays of him in at CU, like taking 5 plays off a game or some obnoxious, like,
yeah,
he's he's able to do that, and I don't think there's any reason why they wouldn't just put him out there even as a decoy once in a
yeah.
while, or just something like that, enough to make the defense kind of
Especially
what.
with the capital they gave up to draft him. Like they
Yeah,
moved
like
up to
you
take
did
this
that for
kid.
a corner. I mean, the whole
Yeah,
the whole reason I think that you did it too, and the only way to justify it is, I mean, they gave up the extra. I think they gave up an extra first for it, because they're basically saying, "Hey, we're drafting 2 players right now, so you
yeah,
can't just put him on one." I don't know. Something tells me too that he's not going to like that move if that is the case too. And so when they do inevitably give him another opportunity on offense, dude's going to want it. Dude's going to
yeah,
try, or dude's
yeah.
going to, so that that's the only thing I had for the Jags. I don't know if you had anything else to mention, but yeah, I don't know that they are a candidate for me to win the division again this year with
No,
that
I I am
in
wildly
mind.
curious how that running back room shakes out. Because they didn't sign anybody. Like they're just rolling with Bashal Tutin and whoever else is behind him. Um, but yeah, I agree. Like I don't know if I'd be surprised if the Jags take a step back this year.
No,
And
for sure not to win the division.
no, sneaky dart throw to win the division. The Tennessee Titans? Question mark?
Oh, Robert
Signing
Sala's
Wandell. Yeah,
Yeah,
Robert Saleh signing Wan'Dale Robinson. The defense was sneaky good last year, and bring in Saleh as the coach for a sneaky good defense.
and drafted a wide receiver at
Uh,
number 4.
got Carnell Tate, yeah,
Carnell
and you
Tate at
already
4.
already had who was the kid that was on that damn roster? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Cam Ward definitely showed flashes last year. Uh, Calvin
I
Ridley
don't,
is
I
who I
don't,
was thinking of, but I don't know if
yeah,
he counts.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He was a, I, just a quick aside on Calvin Ridley. He was in the guillotine league that I play in. He was
oh
on
no,
the first 4 teams that were cut. So the
that
first team that
sounds about
draft, the
right.
team that drafted Ridley got the blade. The team that spent a bunch of fab to get Ridley got the second blade.
Pain.
So I would say he doesn't count.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it could be a sneaky. I don't like them more than the Texans or the Colts or even the Jags at face value, but at the rate you could get them, I could see it. You could build a case for them. Or
Who's
like the rate
quarterbacking
you
for
could
the
get, like the
Colts?
odds. Daniel Jones.
No,
Is that supposed to be a trick
got an
question?
no, he's got an Achilles. Like he's
Isn't
not
he?
going to be
Is he not
ready
going to be healthy? Oh, is he
for
not going
week
to be? Oh,
one.
they're going to have. Well, they're going to put Anthony Richardson in then probably.
Oh man.
Would be my guess.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Titans are 8-1 to win the division. So you've got a CJ Stroud that has the ability to throw 5 picks in a game for no reason. You've got the Jags who can't possibly be that good again this year, especially with taking their best player and shipping him off to play defense only. You've got the Colts who might not have Daniel Jones the first week. You might be onto
Probably,
something.
probably the first 4 to 6 is what I would guess. Well, you know what? We gotta check that real quick. I know we're dragging this damn episode on, but uh,
This is good. We've only got one division left. We're doing okay. Although
yeah.
this might be a spicy division left.
Well, I guess he's expected to be medically cleared for training camp and with an aim to play by the start of the 26 regular season. Wow.
Okay, then with that in mind, can you tell me why the Colts are 4-1 to win the division? Because
Because
that also feels like disrespect.
I don't think Vegas believes that. And even if they do believe it, see my earlier comments about coming back from an Achilles injury. He's not going to be the same.
Jonathan Taylor, 50 carries a game.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be my only counter, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think either one of those is, I'm just saying I think either one of those is good value. Like the
I
Texans being
agree.
plus 125 at the favorite is kind of nuts to me a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a division where similar to the AFC West that we bet on last year, you could probably throw a couple of darts at a handful of those teams and make some money,
Yeah.
just like we did the
Um,
Chargers and Broncos.
for sure. Cam Ward, um, yeah, I don't know what to think about him because the Titans were a disaster last year, and he didn't play great, but there was no
I,
one
I
around
was
him.
I was gonna say I would argue he was probably the lone bright spot. Like the flashes that what he was able to do with what he was working with, give him a small tip of the cap, especially as a rookie. Like I think that's a tip of a cap season for Mr.
Yeah,
Cam Ward. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does this year.
could be a
I'm
lot better.
cautiously optimistic. Yeah.
What's the real quick before we move on? Because the 8-1 division is a bit of a ceiling case for them, but I have to know what their win total is.
Seven and a
Six
half.
six. I see 6.5 on DraftKings. Over under 6.5, minus 115, minus 105. I'd have to take the over on that, I think.
Seeing
But it's
that
so hard because they suck.
minus 130 at 7.5, plus 110 at 7.5. Wonder why yours is
Are you
different.
on
Oh, I'm
you
looking at
on
the Colts.
DraftKings?
Fucking
Yeah,
goofy.
that's why.
Six and a
Yeah,
half.
goofball.
Yeah.
Colts are
Ah,
Colts are 7.5. What do you do with that? Ugh. This will be a fun. You know what? I think we're gonna have a good time with our win totals episode
yeah,
because
we are.
now we've got a foundation laid for kind of how we're feeling about these teams.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
Um, Last division, which I'm glad you brought up that division bet last year because that was a very fun bet to place
Yeah,
money on both the Chargers and the Broncos at plus 300 apiece,
it was easy.
betting on a regression for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was almost never in doubt. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
it felt really
Um,
good.
that felt awesome. So that was a fun one to follow all year. And obviously we hope Mahomes is back and healthy because he's good for the game, um, and he'll be interesting this year. But we're starting with the Denver Broncos. They re-signed J.K. Dobbins, paying for R.J. Harvey, who Dobbins got hurt towards the end of the regular season, and I believe came back in the playoffs, um, or came back maybe for the AFC Championship. Jalen Waddle's the big story with the Denver
Yeah,
Broncos. They are
yeah.
almost overly saturated at receiver, but one more weapon for Mr. Nix to be able to turn the corner. What do we think about that from the Broncos, from the perspective of what the Broncos are adding?
I think it would be exciting, except one of Knicks's big problems was his accuracy. Like he was just overthrowing receive like his deep ball is dog shit. He's just overthrowing everybody. And if that's going to continue to be the case, I don't think it matters who is at receiver. That being said,
That's an interesting take.
I it's hard not to think that they could at least repeat what they did this past season, especially with the defense. Um,
They should have gone to the Super Bowl.
oh yeah, definitely.
And
100%.
it would have been a repeat. And it would have been a repeat of that Super Bowl from 10 years earlier where Peyton Manning and the Broncos just got the brakes beat off them by by the Seahawks. It's exactly what would have
100%.
happened again. That being
100%.
said, that Patriots team got so goddamn lucky that Bo Nix got hurt, and that's just absolutely crazy because they would
Yeah.
have kicked the shit out of that team.
Yeah.
The Broncos would have. I see them running back. I see them having a good coach. I see them having a good quarterback. Maybe there's some deep ball accuracy questions with the way that defense plays and the type of football that they're playing. I don't think you need a lot of deep shots. So maybe that's a case against why do you need Jalen Waddle? You've already got Troy Franklin, your buddy from college. You've already got Sutton, who's granted he's getting old, but he's a reliable possession receiver. Um, do you need another guy like Jalen Waddle? But I don't think it can hurt um, to have
So
extra weapons and have extra supporting cast.
I'm hearing you're confident in this 9.5 over then.
Are you kidding me that they are getting 9.5 this year? Yeah, that's easy. I think that's easy. How can you
Same as mm,
give give me give me a reason not to?
because the Chiefs and the Chargers are also at 9.5.
What does that mean? They're gonna
It's a
split. They
it's
should
a
split with
it,
those teams.
should they? Like I
Yes.
don't know if that's necessarily true. Like mm,
Okay. Who's are we back? Are we back on the Chiefs, Curtis? Someone back on the
well,
Chiefs?
if Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback, you're not ever going to discount the Chiefs. And I do like the moves that they've made. Like we're going to be jumping around this division for sure, but like signing Kenneth Walker, I that's a win and a half, 2 wins right there. Travis Kelce is I don't know, he is what it is, but they got the cornerback help. Their defense is going to be nice.
McDuffie's gone.
He is gone, but he's replaced by, and they've shown time and time again that they can recycle cornerbacks. I don't know how they keep doing it, but like it's not the first time they've done this, right? I for,
Walker's definitely an upgrade over Pacheco.
yeah,
That's not up for debate. I don't think.
oh,
Um,
yeah,
they will once again regression, right? Like they will regress in a positive direction. The Chiefs
I
have to.
agree.
They won
I
6 games
agree.
last year. They looked like shit with Mahomes at the helm, though. I think that shouldn't be like, yeah, he got hurt with whatever 2 or 3 games to play. They looked like shit with him at quarterback for almost that entire season. And
Yeah,
I blame a Super Bowl hangover. Like the bubble kind of burst on them. They had been so good for so long. The dam was bound to break at some point. They will be back this year. They'll probably win 10 games. I still think they would split with the Broncos personally. And I think they would split with it's going to be a good division. I don't think there's going to
yeah,
be I would I wouldn't be shocked if those three teams are all like between 9 and 11 wins, maybe 10 and 12 wins. I don't think anyone's getting
Yeah.
14 again. I don't think there's a one seed coming. Maybe, I don't know. Look at these other Bills to get the AFC one seed could be a nice bet. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think they regress in a positive direction, but I don't think that they just steamroll again. I don't think they go back to being a 14 win team again.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that take. I like that. And I think Bo Nix will be fine. I just he wasn't perfect, right? And it's not always the case that those imperfections just miraculously get solved, right? Like um,
It's true,
Josh
but he
Josh
wasn't.
Allen had problems with his deep ball, and there was a lot of concern because that is a notoriously difficult problem to fix with quarterbacks is accuracy. Um, that's why Nix gives me a little bit of pause. So I mean, if his game remains kind of short, mid-range, one-dimensional type of thing, like I feel like that puts a cap on the ceiling of the offense. Because it what like the Broncos weren't winning games because of their offense, and just because you signed Jalen Waddle, I don't necessarily subscribe to the thought that that magically fixes that. In my humble opinion, of course, we will certainly see.
It's not a silver bullet, but I'm also going to say too, like despite whatever you say about Bo Nix not being perfect, they won 14 games last year and got the one seed, despite
They
all of
did.
this. So I, I'm not saying that that's going to happen again. In fact, I would bet on it not happening again, but I still think it's a 10-win team, probably maybe 11 or 12. Speaking of which, too, I know this isn't a betting podcast, or this isn't a betting episode, but I'd like to throw out there that the current favorite for the AFC number one seed is. Want to take a guess?
That's got to be the Bills.
You'd think that the Baltimore Ravens.
Uh,
This is just
sure.
plain. This is just plain old stupid to me. The
Yeah.
Bills are 5-1. The Chiefs actually would maybe be the potential bet because there's a ceiling case to be made there, plus 750,
Interesting.
considering their
I'm gonna be
considering
honest.
their prowess.
I thought you were gonna go and say the what you call them, the Bengals. Where are they at? Oh, they're way the fuck down there. Wow.
9-1. Broncos are 10-1 to do it again. I kind of like that because they've just proved they can do it. Anyway,
I'm I'm
not a
I'm
betting
throwing a dart at
episode.
those.
I'm still.
I'm I'm throwing a dart at those Bengals.
You should. You should.
Yeah.
Two other teams in this division, the Vegas Raiders. Um, Signed Kirk Cousins. Obviously, had the number one overall picked and drafted Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza. Probably starting Cousins this year. Also, I think you have to take a look. I think you definitely, if it's me, you definitely start Cousins on game one of
Yeah.
this year. And
I
if
agree.
nothing else, you go back and you look at the last three number one overall picks: Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, and Cam Ward. All of them are talented, and all of them looked like kind of like shit the first year
Yeah.
because they just got thrown it to teams that had bad years the year before. That's how they got the number one pick, and they
Yep.
hadn't sorted anything out. And it's like, here you go. Good
Yeah.
luck with this shit show.
Yeah.
And instead, like the Raiders are a shit show. Put in Cousins, let Mendoza learn something, and best case, you get some wins with Kirk Cousins on your team.
Yeah.
And worst case, you've got the quarterback of the future waiting for you in the
Yeah.
wings.
I completely agree with that. I think I'm cautiously optimistic the Raiders will be fun to watch this year. Full
I
stop.
don't
Like
see any reason. Yeah, I don't see any reason not
yeah,
to. Agree.
yeah. Um,
Clint Kubiak, head coach, coming from Seattle, the Super Bowl winning
yeah.
Seattle team.
Offensive mind, yeah.
Yeah, they do seem to be thin at wide receiver. Obviously, Genty coming back is a nice thing. I'm
Yeah.
thinking the Kirk Cousins to Dalvin Cook
Yeah.
buzzsaw that we had for a long time
Yeah.
on the
If
Vikings. But yeah, they
if
traded for Jalen Naylor, but they tend to be kind of thin at wide receiver. So I wonder if they need to do a little more work there.
100%. I mean, I don't know who they would add. Like Jawan Jennings would have been nice, but
Yeah, actually, that would be the answer.
yeah.
We got his
Um,
ass.
yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Bowers to the moon in fantasy
Yep,
because
I
that's
can go for
that's like
that.
27 targets a game.
He is going to be so unbelievably um, highly rated. I think that's my. I know we
So,
talked about this.
I
Like,
mean,
are we
he'll be
drafting
second.
Bowers? And yeah, you were saying, are we drafting Bowers in fantasy? And I'm like, he's going to be a top five tight end, but I'm still nervous that he's a top. I'm still nervous that he's one or two.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not a question of if he's going to be good. It's going to be is he worth the cost? Because I'm sure his
yep.
value is going to get, artificially inflated, and I'm not. I would much rather pay a artificially inflated price for McBride myself.
That's what I was
Because
gonna say. We covered on last week. Tune into last week's episode, the NFC offseason moves, where we found out that Kurtis will be blowing 75% of his auction budget on
I'm in
Trey
there.
McBride.
I'm in there.
And
I'm
then
in
when
there.
he only has $1 left for everybody else, he's drafting none other than Mr. Kyler Murray himself.
You already know, bro, and that's probably going to be a good team right there.
It might accidentally you might stumble your way into competence for once.
That's how I do.
Last team, the Los Angeles Chargers. I have down that they signed a bunch. They were busy in free agency. They signed 5 offensive linemen, which is a big deal to protect Justin Herbert, and also signed a bunch
Finally,
of defensive players, including Khalil Mack, who's not dead somehow. I thought he had one foot in the grave or had applied to AARP by now, but um, he's still alive and kicking. So they were busy in free agency. They want to turn that corner as well because that's we talk about a team that's just flames out in the playoffs.
if
It's
they can
quintessential.
protect if they can protect Herbert, there's no reason they can't win that division. That's always been the problem, is they treat Justin Herbert like shit. Like they don't care about his well-being. I'm pretty convinced. So I hope that their moves fixed that problem, but if not, it'll be a lot of the same. And period. Like I don't think there's much more to say. Hampton's going to be fun. They got some fun pieces at receiver. It would be nice to see Quentin Johnson go crazy again. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
What's the other guy's name? I'm blanking on his name. Where's that depth chart? McConkey. There we go. Lad McConkey is a nice piece there. Um,
Our mutual friend Ryan said that he's disgusted that somebody named Lad is so good at football.
yeah, it's
Just just sounds like a young strapping lad, and
yeah.
he's just
It
yep,
His parents definitely should be ashamed, but he is good at football
he
for
is good
sure.
at football. Yep,
So yeah,
doesn't
I mean,
matter.
and
It's
the
a
and the defense is respectable. I mean, it's just all about keeping Herbert upright because he's taken like the only person who might have a case for taking more of a beating over their career than Herbert is Burrow, and I don't think he has. Like Herbert's just been getting beat to shit ever since day one. Um, Fix it, like period, and then we'll see what happens.
yep. When he has time to throw, he's up there with the Josh Allens and Patrick Mahomes of the world.
Yeah, he's a
So
dog. Yeah,
yeah, you want to take the step.
yeah.
Take it. So, I already covered, I already kind of along the way, just by design, touched on the New England Patriots, with the Max Crosby thing, or the Baltimore Ravens with the Max Crosby thing, and the New England Patriots. We've beat the dead horse on that pretty well. Would you like to name or comment on a clown of the off season before we move to with our next episode starting to be like ramping up for the season, or are you good with what we already covered?
I'm okay with what we covered. I think
Okay.
our explanation of the clown of the off season to start the episode was, I think that was satisfactory.
It
I
wasn't
feel good with.
Vrabel. It was Diana Rossini's
I
husband.
think ah I don't know if he can't be the clown of the off season, but the whole situation
Yeah.
gotta be it's not a good look, bro. And oh, we forgot to mention that Vrabel took day three of the draft off to go and make things right, make amends with his wife.
Oh
Oh my
dear.
God. Like there was a picture of him buying a sweater at an airport and it like, it was basically like a uh please forgive me sweater on the way home to the wife after the first couple of days at the draft. And
Oh my gosh.
you could just imagine this dude just trying to, she doesn't mean anything to me, baby. You don't got nothing to worry about. Damn, they took that motherfucker in the sixth. Don't worry about it. Like, like,
To make amends with, oh my gosh.
I just, it's
That is
unfortunate because as a coach you hear nothing but good things about him, and for all this shit to come out, bro, it's just like do better, do less.
take bet the under. Bet the under on the Patriots this year.
Bet
Off the
the
field
under on the
attention
Patriots.
doesn't off
Never
the field
works.
attention does not do a
Never
damn thing.
works.
See when Brett Favre was like sending
Yeah,
dick pics of his junk to a cheerleader. Like this is not it's not what we're
never
doing here.
works. No.
Good luck. Good luck to all of you this week and this offseason. Let's go wild. Let's go Sabres. Better luck to us and our teams for our next trick. Listen in next time when we call ourselves clowns for everything we just said. I'm Ren Smith. He's Kurtis Pinkney. Thank you again for listening to Football Clowns Anonymous, and hope you'll keep up with us in the off season and join our circus again next time.
Till next time.